from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Bexar County under severe thunderstorm watch. The concern even higher for communities out west. A live look at radar tonight shows exactly why. This is what we're watching closely.
Now we're going to bring in our meteorologist, Adam Caskey. Adam, you've been tracking this weather system on our KSAT weather app tonight. What's changed?
Well, its intensity continues to fluctuate, as often happens with these thunderstorms, kind of in a cyclical pattern, up and down in terms of its strength and intensity. But within this storm, there is the potential for some egg-sized hail moving into Sabinal right now. This severe thunderstorm that we're talking about, the one we've been tracking live on the KSAT Weather Authority app for the past hour or so, that's until 10:30 p.m. This stretches into western Medina County, but is mostly for Uvalde County. And I really quickly want to point out a new warning. This is until 11 p.m. for parts of Zavala County and then southern Uvalde County, including the city of Uvalde County. Uvalde, you're under two warnings right now. The worst of the first storm has passed, and then the next storm is going to be heading in. But I want to time out this storm first of all, the one that's moving into Sabinal as we speak. The leading edge of this could have wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. That's moving to the east at about 45. So let's time it out for the communities down the path of it here. Hondo at about 10:33 p.m., Hondo High School about 10:34 p.m. So basically, Sabinal, it's going to be there within about 5 to 6 minutes. You'll have the leading edge. Rain, big wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and then the potential for some large hail as well. A really close look. I do think wind is one of the primary threats with this right now, but still we do have some large hail right along Highway 90 from Canepa moving into Sabinal. That could be damaging size hail, 1 to 2 inches in diameter. We'll also have more on this thunderstorm down to the south of it, the new severe thunderstorm warning in a few minutes. But I want to point out, as we go through time, put it into motion. Put the lightning on. You see this is a very lit up storm. It's headed due east towards San Antonio. Right now, indications are we will get thunder and lightning with some beneficial rainfall from the storm. The big question is, does it really remain severe intensity? Right now, I would say the odds favor it being a severe thunderstorm by the time it would make it to San Antonio after 11 p.m. We're going to talk more about it in just a bit.
It's a big storm. Thanks, Adam. By the way, when you have weather like today, you want to know what to expect, download our Weather Authority app. You can track radar live, watch forecasts, and of course, we'll be checking in with meteorologist Adam Caskey throughout this newscast.
Continuing our coverage this evening, more fallout from a leaked Supreme Court document. It's not just abortion rights groups that are worried about the highest court possibly overturning Roe v. Wade. Other groups are wondering what's going to happen to their rights, like LGBTQ advocacy groups. They tell the Night Team's Lee Waldman that they're concerned about losing the right to same-sex marriage.
It's an issue Diana Limon Mercado with Planned Parenthood sees going hand in hand with the discussion on abortion.
If you fundamentally look at it, groups that are opposed to abortion are also opposed to birth control. And those are the same groups that are also attacking trans kids and LGBTQ rights.
Looking at the draft opinion leak, Justice Samuel Alito writes, Roe v. Wade must be overruled because, quote, the Constitution makes no reference to abortion and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision. Unquote. The constitutionality wording has Robert Salcido Jr. with Pride Center SA worried.
It's horrifying to think that abortion access is going to be taken away. And then what's next? And specifically marriage equality. Is that next?
In the draft, there is nothing written about reversing rulings that allow for same-sex marriage or rights to contraceptives. But Salcido Jr. and Limon Mercado believe it's hidden between the lines.
You're taking away the rights of folks and their opportunity and their ability to make decisions on their own. It sets a dangerous precedent.
David Crockett with Trinity University disagrees. He sees the issues as completely separate.
I'm not sure I would see then the court go further and do something like reverse the gay marriage decision a few years ago. I don't know that the numbers are there for that.
Crockett isn't convinced the court would have the backing or desire to take on every social issue. In this draft, Justice Alito wrote, quote, nothing in this opinion should be understood to cast doubt on precedents that do not concern abortion, end quote.
I
I also spoke with Equality Texas, the largest statewide organization focused on LGBTQ equality. They said they're trying to stay away from any kind of speculation, simply encouraging people to get out and shape the policy that they want to see. Reporting live, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. New details tonight in a gruesome kidnapping case. These two men, 36-year-old Daryl King and 24-year-old Uriah Huffman, accused of hog-tying their victim, leaving him bleeding on the side of a road. The night team's John Paul Barajas reports documents reveal the victim may have known he was going to be a target.
Terrorized and left to die. According to an arrest affidavit, a 24-year-old man had multiple gunshot wounds to the head and arm. Investigators also describe stab wounds to his chest and trauma to his face. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies found him alive and hogtied on an East Bexar County road back in April.
And then left on the road to die like some animal. It just shows me the total lack of regard for human life that these two suspects seem to have.
Sheriff Javier Salazar announcing these two suspects are now in custody. An affidavit shows the victim may have known he was going to be targeted. It states the victim's mom noticed something strange just days before the attack. Her son came home without his car. Investigators say the victim's brother later found the car with someone inside. After forcing that person out, he brought the car back home. It was then the victim in this case told his family, quote, "You don't know how much trouble you got me in for getting the car back."
That he felt that he was going to be in trouble for having gone back and retrieved his vehicle from these people. That may or may not be what's at the root of this assault.
The sheriff saying he thinks all three men were involved in the drug trade to some extent, and that on the day of the attack, the victim got into an argument with one of the suspects, but it's not clear if it was over that car.
Now, the victim surprisingly did survive, but because of his injuries, he had to have an eye surgically removed. As for the investigation, that is still ongoing. The sheriff says they do have people of interest, but they don't have any suspects at this time. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. The punishment phase now underway for Angelica Navarro de Paz. The jury convicted her in the murder for hire case. Navarro de Paz paid an undercover officer to kill her boyfriend's sister. And Navarro de Paz had no reaction when the verdict was announced today in court. Jurors heard testimony for almost 6 days. The victim in this case, Anayeli Mendoza Flores, says that she owed Navarro de Paz money before a hit was put on her. Flores was the first person to take the stand today in the punishment phase.
It has affected me very much. At first I couldn't even say it did affect me. It doesn't matter if she harmed me, but I don't want her to do something.
So the testimony in this phase of that trial continues tomorrow morning. Navarro de Paz is facing between 5 to 99 years or life in prison.
Now for a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. Shots fired on one of San Antonio's busiest roadways, leading to a crash and a closure. Police say someone shot at a driver near I-35 South and Benz Engelman, near this scene right here. That driver then veered into another car, ended up hitting a tree. First responders pronounced the man dead on the scene. Investigators speaking with a witness in this case. They hope to hear from anyone else who may have seen the incident. Southbound I-35 closed for several hours tonight. Right now, San Antonio police are looking for a driver who hit a bicyclist. That victim delivering meals when he was hit. It happened about 3 a.m. on Fair Meadows. That's near I-35 and Petite Jordanton Freeway. The 54-year-old told police he was riding his bicycle when everything went black. He was taken to the hospital. When the suspected driver is found, they're going to be facing charges. One man shot in the head. The suspect's on the run at this hour. It's a story we first brought you last night on the Night Beat. Well, today the victim identified as 30-year-old Rafael Jesus Lopez. The shooting happened on the city's southeast side on Bullmore Drive and Dollarhide. Police say Lopez talking with a group of men when one of them pulled a gun and fired. Investigators looking for a beige-colored Hyundai Elantra with broken windows that may have been at that scene. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Now still ahead on the Night Beat, San Antonio recognizing special meaning. One event held to honor a galaxy far, far away. Coming up.
Plus a KSAT exclusive. We take a look inside one operation meant to help those suffering from substance abuse. And one man who found help now sharing how he's helping others. Coming up.
Not a whole lot of activity on the radar screen, but where there is activity, it means business. We have some rowdy thunderstorms just west of San Antonio. These are trekking eastward. We're going to time it out for communities in the path, analyze these a bit more, tell you what to expect, and talk about even more storm chances in tomorrow coming right up.
The dangers that come with substance abuse can be felt physically, emotionally, and financially. One nonprofit here in Bexar County is helping those who may not be able to afford care get help.
Lifetime Recovery. It's been around for nearly 60 years. And today a luncheon was held to honor those who have helped the nonprofit keep its mission going. And in tonight's KSAT exclusive, the night team's Patty Santos speaks with a man who found help and is now doing what he can to pay it forward.
Whenever I come in this dorm, I thank God.
John Welsh says a prayer over the bunk where he began to heal his addiction. As of today, he is 16 years sober.
It was formerly called the Ark. Thank God I knew this existed, and I needed help, so I found my way in on May 3rd of 2006 is when I walked in. Barely.
Welsh is now the chief operating officer for Lifetime Recovery, the 60-year-old facility that helped him get clean. He helped secure funding to continue its mission.
We're here serving the community as a whole with an emphasis on keeping people like me capable of being a productive member of society.
The Bexar County commissioners support its work. Lifetime Recovery was granted its second contract with the Commissioner's Court for the jail diversion program.
There's a large population of people being in and out of custody at Bexar County Jail that really the root cause of their issue is they're not criminals. They're people that need help with substance use.
Welsh says Lifetime serves about 160 people through the program annually, including about 35 of them through its inpatient facility. The jail diversion program also includes a 6 to 10 week outpatient program and continued counseling. Lifetime serves 1,300 people through various programs each year.
If we stay connected, they're very successful.
CEO David Phipps boasts a 62% completion rate and a 90-day sober success rate, which exceeds the Texas required 51% standard.
We don't turn anybody away for lack of financial resources.
Lifetime Recovery has raised over $9 million to update its current facility. That will help the nonprofit continue work that Phipps says saves entire families and communities.
We're not trying to make somebody good from being bad. We're trying to make somebody well from being sick. And that's a big difference.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Making someone well from being sick. The facility currently houses about 60 men at their Lifetime Recovery Inpatient Facility Center. They hope to help double that amount after renovations and construction is done.
Yeah, you probably saw Star Wars posts on social media or the costumes while you were out today. Yes, today is a holiday for Star Wars fans. Of course, it comes with the phrase, "May the 4th be with you." And some fans showed up at McAllister Park.
So it's the May the 4th be with you run. We have a 4-miler and a 2-miler where the runners will get to split between dark side and light side. The dark side goes into the trees and it's a little bit longer, so choose your path.
The San Antonio Road Runners hosted today's fun run at McAllister Park. The group's mission is to improve lives through running.
So I'm curious about this Star Wars run. Do you have to run or can you Ewok?
Hey, I was waiting for it.
I just was curious. All right, live cam outside tonight. And all right, there's some raindrops on the camera tonight, Adam.
Yes, and we're hearing a few rumbles of thunder around San Antonio. Nothing threatening right now, but we do think within just over an hour it would probably be here on the western portion of San Antonio. We're talking Alamo Ranch, SeaWorld area, 1604 on the far west side. We've been tracking these two thunderstorms. You can see them very lit up here. A lot of lightning, then of course thunder associated with them because the lightning causes thunder. And we can turn that off. The white indicates all those lightning strikes. Those are actual cloud to ground lightning strikes. Two storms here. And I want to mention Uvalde because you just got hit by the first storm. And now the second storm still giving you heavy rainfall, lightning and thunder. But the hail associated with it is basically this purple area. That's moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So city of Uvalde looks like like the core of this next storm would hit you at about 10:39 p.m. and Knippa at 10:57 p.m. All right, so a 1-2 punch for Uvalde. There is the threat of large hail, 1 to 2 inches in diameter within this storm. And I think that hail threat is right along Highway 90. You see this purple within the storm. The storm recently pulsed up. You know, the intensity fluctuates with these, kind of up and down like a roller coaster, and we just swung upward in terms of its intensity. And right here near Sabinal and within Sabinal, right up Ranch Road, FM 187 and Highway 90, that's where we likely have 2-inch diameter hail, maybe even slightly larger. Wouldn't surprise me. So about golf ball to even egg size hail within this. Not only that, we've got the strong winds associated with it as well. Wind gusts. We're going to switch over to our velocities, and the radar can detect motion toward and away from the radar. And this is all these reds moving away from the radar site, which is in Brackettville. And guess what? That's all headed towards San Antonio. And along the leading edge of this storm, we could have wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So that's obviously a concern. Power outages in terms of the winds and lightning, and then some large damaging hail. That's also wind-driven hail, not just hail falling, but being pushed down into the side. Okay, let's time this out for some more communities here and give you an idea of when it could get further into Medina County and then possibly even parts of San Antonio. I don't think it's going quite at 40 miles per hour. We're going to put it at about 35, and that would mean Dunlay at 10:55 p.m. Medina Lake at 11:02 getting clipped by the north side of it there. Lake Hills at about 11:03. Okay, I want to give you one more look at this thunderstorm because of the hail inside it. And as I mentioned before, far west side of San Antonio likely to get this at about 11:30-ish, give or take. Its intensity is going to change a little bit, but it could still be severe by the time it makes it to San Antonio. And even if it's not severe, lightning and thunder could cause some power outages. All right, here's a quick three-dimensional view of this. And one reason I like to look at it is you can really assess the hail core on the inside of this storm. And you see these purples and blacks as we look at it. That's the large hail. And you can see it stretching from high up in the thunderstorm all the way down to the ground right here, right over Sabinal. So that's the hail core within it. Of course, we do have that hail threat and high wind threat, winds up to 70 miles per hour. Here's our futurecast showing it making it here between 11 p.m. and midnight, then fizzling out a little bit. You can't totally rely on the intensity forecast with this. And on the backside of it, a few more developing showers and thunderstorms. So increasing rain chances for the rest of the night. And don't be surprised if you get woken up by a few rumbles of thunder in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. We also have a chance of a few thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Mainly just a few light to moderate showers in the morning in the 70s. By the afternoon, a few thunderstorms popping up and the slight chance of a few severe storms as well. Well into the 80s. Hey, here's something we haven't talked about since yesterday or even 5 and 6. Weekend heat. Back to 100 degrees. Record challenging warmth. Or heat, whatever you want to
some indoor plans with mom.
Yeah, but first we're going to get through tonight, and you guys are going to be here throughout the night until Mike takes over in the morning.
Live on air and live on the KSAT Weather Authority app.
Yep, KSAT Authority app.
Hello, Greg.
Hi there.
Hi. So the NBA would like to have a chat with the Warriors and the Grizzlies before Saturday's.
Absolutely, because what has happened in the first two games, 2 flagrant fouls. The second one could have ended this player's season. When we come back, we're talking about the NBA wanting to chat about this and more, and sincere signs of the Raiders when we come back. The NBA is expected to meet with both the Golden State Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies after their first 2 games of the Western Conference semifinal series has featured 2 flagrant fouls and ejections over more than just physical play. The most recent incident came early in Game 2 last night when the Grizzlies' Dylan Brooks chased down Gary Payton II, hit him so hard on the head it knocked Payton to the court where he broke his left elbow. Here's another look as Brooks completely misses the ball, connects hard with Payton's head, knocking him to the court. He comes up holding his left arm, and an MRI later confirmed a fractured elbow. That's the second flagrant foul that has gotten someone tossed in the series. The first coming in Game 1 when Draymond Green hit Brandon Clark in the head and then dragged him down by his jersey. More physical play is expected in this playoff series, but this is a way over the line, according to former Spur, now Warriors head coach Steve Kerr.
I don't know if it was intentional, but it was dirty, and playoff basketball it's supposed to be physical. Everybody's going to compete. Everybody's going to fight for everything. But there's a code in this league. There's a code that players follow, where you never put a guy's season/career in jeopardy by taking somebody out in midair and clubbing him across the head and ultimately fracturing Gary's elbow. This is a guy who's been toiling the last 6 years trying to make it in this league. Finally found a home, just playing his butt off this year. In the playoffs, this should be the time of his life. And the guy comes in and whacks him across the head in midair. He broke the code. Dylan Brooks broke the code. That's how I see it.
The Miami Heat hoping to take a 2-0 lead in their Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. Sixth Man of the Year award winner Tyler Hero showing why he got that award as he nails his three, then attacking the rim to give Miami a 6-point edge. James Harden keeping the Sixers in it with the step-back three as the Heat lead by 8 at the break. The Heat pull away in the fourth. Hero in transition lobs it to Bam Adebayo for the alley-oop. Bam led Miami with 23 as Miami takes a 2-0 series lead, 119-103. Congratulations to former UTSA Roadrunner and Judson Rockets Sincere McCormick, who has signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. The announcement made by social media today on his social media account after he went undrafted last week. And McCormick left UTSA after his junior season to enter the NFL draft, leading as the all-time leading rusher in Roadrunner history. He rushed for a Conference USA high, 1,479 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 298 carries, setting a new UTSA record for most all-purpose yards. In McCormick's post on Twitter, he said, in part, I'm thankful for this opportunity and watch me run with it. I want to thank everyone from my family, friends, and coach for believing in me. No details on his contract, though. We have breaking news regarding Jerry Jones involved in a car accident, and SAFC looking for a little revenge when we come back. After having 4 players named to the United Soccer League Championship Team of the Week following their club record 6-0 victory over Monterey Bay FC last Saturday, now San Antonio FC, who is 7-0-1, gets ready to face Phoenix FC this Saturday night. That USL match coming before they go up against the second MLS team, the Houston Dynamo, 1 week from today in the round of 32 in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, their second MLS team this season after defeating Austin FC in overtime 2-1. Right now it's about getting a little revenge against Phoenix.
This game is really important, especially away against a big team, Phoenix. They're the only team that beat us from this season right now. But we are pretty confident, just like we're going to apply the principle and try to move forward. We go over there to take a result, and that's what we want. They beat us at home, and we're going to do the same over there.
We've won six games in a row now, or something like that. I think we just feed off of that energy, off that momentum, and we keep doing what we're doing. We focus on ourselves. And obviously we want revenge for what they did, the loss here at home, and we want to return the favor. But at the end of the day, we just focus on ourselves and just stay consistent within our mentality.
Yeah, that's our only loss of the season so far. Kickoff against Phoenix FC this Saturday in Phoenix is set for 9:30 San Antonio time. We're getting breaking news coming out of Dallas right now. A number of reports are telling us that Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has been involved in a car accident in Dallas. He has been taken to the hospital for precautionary reasons. They do not believe his injuries are serious, but you can imagine the concern because Jerry is 79 years old, and I can tell you he normally doesn't drive. He has a driver/bodyguard that works with him. He has since that bodyguard was replaced over a year ago, but now we don't know if he was driving tonight or not. But we don't believe these are life-threatening injuries.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back.
All right, severe thunderstorm right now moving through western and into northern Medina County from D'Hanis to Hondo, Medina Lake, Lake Hills, Tarpley about to get clipped, Bandera. Wouldn't surprise me if you got clipped by this, Pipe Creek as well. And now it looks more and more like northwestern Bexar County and the northwestern side of San Antonio could get that here within an hour. Of course, we'll be here and live on the KSAT Weather Authority app as necessary, keeping you updated.